Good morning. And here is a penny for your thoughts. Some insights from a Torah perspective on the daily reflections for Alcoholics Anonymous on November 15th. Today's reading is called Vital Sustenance. And this is the reading. It's taken from the 12 and 12, page 97. Those of us who have come to make regular use of prayer would no more do without it than we would refuse air, food, or sunshine. And for the same reason, when we refuse air, light, or food, the body suffers. And when we turn away from meditation and prayer, we likewise deprive our minds, our emotions, and our intuitions of vitally needed support. That's the quote they bring from the 12 and 12. We're just going to finish the paragraph, which goes over to page 98. As the body can fail its purpose for lack of nourishment, so can the soul. We all need the light of God's reality, the nourishment of His strength, and the atmosphere of His grace. To an amazing extent, the facts of AA life confirm this ageless truth. I'm going to share with you what this ageless truth is. So we have these parables, very beautiful, of meditation and prayer that bring us air, light, and food. So the daily reflections expounds on this. This is in step 11. Of the 11 steps, which is about the step 11 is sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. This itself is a very beautiful concept that in the 11th month, November 15th, many readings in November, we talk about the 11th step because the 11 months are parallel to the 11 steps. They're as the Hebrew word for a year is a shana, as growth is change. This is 12 steps of change. Every person should be working and growing and changing every year. So, the expounding of the daily reflections on this paragraph from the 12 and 12 is as follows. Step 11 doesn't have to overwhelm me. Conscious contact with God can be simple and as profound as conscious contact with another human being. I can smile. I can listen. I can forgive. Every encounter with another is an opportunity for prayer, for acknowledging God's presence within me. Today I could bring myself a little closer to my higher power. The more I choose to seek the beauty of God's work in other people, the more certain of His presence I will become. Very profound words. These are words of a member of AA, an alcoholic, for other alcoholics. For every person, beautiful insights. I want to share with you a penny for your thoughts. My insights from a Torah perspective. This concept, first of all, the concept of prayer and meditation, God tells us to do both of these things, prayer and meditation. It's in one verse. This is a verse in Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 13, where God says that we should love Him every day. This is something we need to do every day. We actually say this verse every morning and every evening. It's part of our Shema. We need to love God and to avdai, which they translate as serve with all our heart and all our soul. What does it mean to serve? The translation is terrible. What the word really means, la'avdai, is to work on our relationship. And any relationship, you can't just say, I love you and let it go. You got to work on it. To be oive, to work on work your heart. How do we work our heart? Well, sages tell us, this is our tradition, there's two ways to work your heart. One is prayer, and the other, what they call meditation, is Torah study. It's trying to understand, what does God want? What is God's will? So He revealed to us at Sinai the light of His will, but it's really deep down inside everybody. This we know as Abraham, our forefather, he understood from deep down inside. The truth is inside every person. We have blockages. We have to get out of there as they go on in the 12 and 12 the same. The next paragraph, the linkage of self-examination to meditation and prayer. You really want to understand God's will. You got to get the blockages out. In any case, this parable of prayer and meditation to air, food, and sunshine. Let me explain what these three things are. So the actual prayer, which God says to do this 3 times a day, like you would have 3 meals a day. You have your breakfast, that nourishment to get going in the day, and you have to preserve through the day. That's your lunch. And then in the evening, you sit down and reflect upon the day, and you give strength for tomorrow. You meet, you have to rebuild your body for tomorrow. That's the nourishment. So too, we have 3 different prayers connecting to God, morning, evening, and morning, afternoon, evening. God says this. It's a verse in Psalms. It's a verse in Daniel. Well known. I don't know who wouldn't follow this guidelines. We connect to God 3 times a day. That is our nourishment, like the meals. Similarly, meditation or Torah study, thinking about God's will, to set times to think about his will. We actually do that every day. God tells us to do it every day. It's a verse in Joshua. We should think, meditate about his will. We should do it daily. That's our every day and every night, God says. Some do twice in a day, twice at night. It's something to be doing periodically. That's the nourishment for the day. Prayer and meditation, absolutely, like meals. It's your nourishment for the day. What does it mean? It's like air and sunshine. So the parable of air, this is in the Torah tradition. This is written in a book called Lev Elio. Rabbi Elio Lopian expounds upon this concept. The air that we breathe, the spiritual air that we breathe, is really parable to what's called emunah, believing in God, that awareness of God in our life. And that we get, like in any relationship, you get that through, according to the level of prayer and meditation. We communicated, we tried to understand God's will. As much as we do that, then we have this emunah, we have this belief, and we're able to, that's the air we breathe. It's all the time. We have that breath with us. The sunshine that's referring to is actually like it says in the next line, which isn't quoted here, but it's the next line that we read from the 12 and 12. That light is the God reality that's within inside us. When we work our heart and connect to him, then it shines. We get that godliness shines within us, and that's the countenance. You can see it on people. People are light or they're dark. That's the God consciousness that's within a person, and it lights up your day. Now, the person who wrote this expounding on the daily reading of the 12 and 12 is a very beautiful insight. I believe this is referring to it's taking the nourishment, is explaining how what does it mean that the meditation and prayer is like air and sunshine. We understand it's like food. You do this a few times a day. How is it all the time? And as they explain in their way, it's as profound. You could do it with a smile, when you listen, when you forgive. What does that mean? What is that concept? So the Torah concept of having prayer all the time through the day, this our tradition is a 4th concept of prayer besides the morning, afternoon, and evening, and our Torah study morning and evening. Besides for those which are compared to nourishment, spiritual nourishment, there is another form of prayer and meditation which was instituted by King David. And this is what we refer to as Mea Brachas, 100 blessings of God. That's to bring that constant awareness of God. It means whatever you do, wherever you go, whatever you're doing, it's constantly thinking, not I'm leaving this world and connecting and getting closer, but I'm living with him in my life. And that's exactly what this person is sharing, that when you have that prayer, then it's a kind of a prayer. It's blessing God, whatever happens, whether it's good or the opposite. We know that God is running the show. It's not him, it's not them, it's God running the show. So whatever happens, a smile, you listen, there's opportunities for forgiveness. Everything is an opportunity of what they say prayer. It means connecting to God. See God, feel him, live with him in all life circumstances. And that is this true joy and happiness of constant living with God in your life. Have a wonderful and successful day. Thank you for joining.